Do let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I am able to see your screen.
Okay, great guys. So track this. So this training program would cover Alteryx Designer or Alteryx Desktop Designer, and it's going to be a completely hands-on and real-time training program. Theory, just keep it aside. You will learn side by side. I'll tell you how to learn it, but it's going to be practical. Everything is 100% practical without any theory except some roles that you should know, that for example you might have a contributor role or an admin role or a developer role. So there is very little theory about of like 10-15 minutes that will be going at the end so that you can understand which role you are working in and what is your role in the organization. Except that everything is going to be practical and you will be working on the Alteryx desktop designer. Once the training is completed, I would recommend you appearing for the certification so that you can include it in your resume as well as you can post it in your LinkedIn. That would show your credibility and real experience in Alteryx. It's not going to be very easy, but it's also not going to be very tough. It's just that you will have to think, you will have to brainstorm. So I'll make you capable of that thinking, okay, so that you can appear for this certification and clear it. It's going to be an hands-on approach. So you would be also working with me in some of the cases where you will be implementing some scenarios. There would be some dedicated course projects that you would go through, and these projects are uh, built or created from my personal experience in my previous projects. So I've collaborated them and included them into various projects so that people can also learn and understand what could come in real time. There would be variety of data sets that you would be undergoing or bringing in into Alteryx and performing data processing or data cleansing or reporting into them. So what you're going to learn and implement, that's what we are going to discuss next. So requirement gathering is one of the very important part in data projects or learning any tool. You should know how the requirement is coming. So for that, I have designed certain projects in a way so that you can understand the business scenario. For example, here is one of the business case where the area head of a company is asking you to identify top revenue generating products. Okay, and you also need to uh, give the count of products with 4 plus rating in each category. Now, this is looking simple, but this is the requirement that might come on an ad hoc basis from many of the business user. And this could be in the diagram form also. You would be given a data set or maybe couple of data sets that might not be clean. You might think, okay, I can bring this quickly, but no, data is not present in a very uh, easy format. So you have to first clean the data. You have to filter the data. You have to extract information from that. Then only you will be able to process it and bring or generate the final report. So you have to link business scenario with your technical expertise, and then you will be able to complete this or deliver this project. Now there could be some questions that might be there. So this is a different assignment that I would be giving you where you would get a US company's transport department data set, and these are the questions that might be asked or that is asked, and you have to deliver them. You have to uh, utilize all tricks to generate the output. So this is how requirement gathering would be discussed. And we would also start with, so the requirement gathering part we will bring in once you have some knowledge about Alteryx, but we would be starting from Alteryx designer walkthrough. First couple of sessions are going to be warm-up sessions, which would include installing Alteryx in your systems. Okay, making you comfortable with the Alteryx desktop designer, going through the configurations, properties, all the windows, interface designer, so that you understand when I say, okay, bring this tool, check here, click here, you are very well aware of the tool. Then we will start with the development in Alteryx, where we are going to develop Alteryx workflows using some of these tools, or these tools are going to be included anyways. There would be more tools that would be that we are going to discuss. For example, there could be tools from developer tool palette, reporting tool palette, There could be dynamic tools that we would be covering, so that you can include some scenarios where the data might be changing dynamically, or you might have to read the data in dynamic basis. We'll start with general design and knowledge and optimization process, so that you can build or develop workflow in an optimized way. You will be able to understand Alteryx native formats, user interface, how would you share and export workflows, how would you optimize workflows by reducing the runtime or the workflow runtime. We will be bringing in the input, which could be Excel files, CSV files, delimited files, text files. So these files we are going to connect, and we'll understand how to fetch data from these files along with the configurations that we can set and send it to the output. Now this could be again on the dynamic basis. They may want you to generate output files dynamically on certain scenario. For that, I'll be presenting a scenario or an assignment to you that might look very difficult, but with very little settings, without writing a single code, you would be, let's say you want to generate files state wise. There should be files if there are 10 states coming. So all the data for this, those 10 states should go into one file, or into separate file. So one file for each state. Maybe a department wise you want to generate. So just by setting one property, you will be able to do it. Then we will be moving on to blending and data passing, so that you can convert various formats or date formats into the proper or the recommended format. You will be performing joins, unions, and append, so that we can integrate the data. We can create a ETL, you can create an ETL process. We'll understand how to work with the files which contains delimiters. Then, of course, there are going to be some errors, some commonly found errors, which we are going to troubleshoot and fix the workflow. We would also be transforming the data using the transform tools. So in some cases, you might also have to generate some summary reports. So in that case, we will use the summarize, cross tab, and the transpose tool, so that you can generate summary reports. You might have worked with pivot already. So similarly, we will work with Alteryx in order to generate similar pivot kind of reports. We'll be creating an ETL flow end to end, so that you understand if data is extracted from a source and the transformation goes on. And let me also bring you a very quick and small ETL process where we are analyzing a sales pipeline, where we are reading data from these three sources. Okay, so you would understand what is this, why we have written this, because this is one of the best practice of developing an Alteryx workflow that you should be aware of. Since you are going to be working as an experienced professional, so you should be building or developing a workflow in a way that yes, it should look like, oh, you haven't been trained, but you have actually worked in Alteryx. So I will try to make you habitual of developing workflow in a way that looks professional. Otherwise, there are people who develop workflow in a way that anyone can say these are like freshers, even though they are professionals. So that doesn't give a very good impression. So there are very a lot of people. I have interviewed more than like 500 people in Alteryx, and the way they develop the workflow, I come to know whether they have just learned it or are they really experienced. So this is one of the sales pipeline that you can also go through, or you can also go through during the project development. Once the project is done or some of the tools have been discussed, I'll be going through how to understand the requirement and create a similar pipeline. And then you will be implementing it on your own. Then we will be working with challenges while we develop the workflow and how to overcome these challenges. Once we are done with these tools, we will be automating daily user reports, so that you can understand you don't have to run them manually and as per the schedule. How do you deploy? How do you version them? How do you get access to the gallery? Later on, we'll move to the designer advanced part, where you will also learn how to include, report, or format output data, so that you can generate formatted reports. You can include some visualizations such as bar chart, pie chart, scatter plot, or some other charts in your final report. So this is the reporting part, although it's not as efficient as Power BI or Tableau because these Power BI and Tableau are BI tools. They are they are used to generate complex dashboard. They have advanced functionality. But Alteryx is a data processing tool, but there could be some requirements where you need to generate some visuals in the report. So that we'll be covering. Now another key feature of Alteryx is analytical applications. This is a key feature because the business users themselves can run the Alteryx job without even using the Alter or without being Alteryx installed in their machine. They'll just get a URL. They will be able to see the apps. They will enter the input and they will get the report. And when they click the run button, they will be able to generate the report. No need to spend money on licenses for such job. So you can create an app for them. Then Alteryx macros. These are key features. They are not Excel macros. These are different from those Excel macros where you have to write a lot of code and VB script. This is kind of you will be using tools to build this, and you will be able to read multiple files or the latest files among multiple files. Let's say, let me give you a scenario and I would see how what's your thought process. So this is a question to everyone. Okay, so listen to it very carefully. Suppose there is a folder. Everyone knows what is a folder, right? Where you save files. Maybe you can save movies, you can save audio files or your project files. Now, suppose there is a process where, let's say, you are working for a banking project and daily one files come in a folder. So today is 8th July. I believe it's the same date in US also. Shri?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's say there were files present from 1st July till 8th July. How many files? 8 files. Right? Now, I want you to pick latest file. So, which file should be picked up? 8th July files. Can anyone tell me or think how can we do it? How can we pick up? How would you do it manually? Manually, how would you go to the folder and identify the latest file?
By sorting the date.
Correct? By sorting the date. Is it right, Tarun? Shri? Giri?
Yes, it's right.
Right? Manually, you would do it. And how would a computer do it or a job do it? Let's say those guys who have some knowledge about Power BI, Tableau, or some other tools. Yeah, let's say with
By
even ADF or
using the functions called like date functions and by applying sort of function to it.
yes, you are somewhere
Order
near.
by like
Yes, you are
by using the
somewhere near.
ordered.
Yeah, you are
Okay.
somewhere near. Okay, so this is your thought process, and we would implement the same thought process. You should actually know how to understand the requirement. So I gave you a simple requirement. You tried to brainstorm it and then understood how can you do it. But now how would you do it in a tool? How would you do it in Python? How would you do it in ADF? How would you do it in some other tools? Right? We are going to implement it in Alteryx in a very easy way. And you will be able to pick up any file from that. Maybe what would you do if you want to pick today's file, which is the latest file, and yesterday's file also? Then it's going to be a different logic, right? Let's say I want to pick file for last 5 days, last week. So scenarios can change, right? From easy to complex. But I'll be teaching you all this in a very easy way. You just have to type one number over there. If you will type one, you will get today's file. You will type two, you will get 2 days file, today and yesterday. If you will type three, you will get last 3 days file. So workflows development would be for you, it's going to be easy. For others, it might still be tough or complex. So that's what we are going to work with in macros also. We might implement these projects in macros also, or using some dynamic tools. There would be projects and assignments that we are going to cover. So these are some of the projects, and these could be in, let's say, this way. So I will be giving you some scenarios. I would be giving you this scenario. Okay, this is the scenario, and this is the data set from this. And the task is to do this, implement this. Yeah, Tarun, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
So, sir, for a Alteryx developer, is it also necessary for him to know the Alteryx server also?
Not Alteryx server, but you should know Alteryx gallery.
Okay,
Alteryx server is mostly handled by the admin. So I am in my organization both an admin and the developer. So my 10% of the activities, in spite of being an admin also, I was hired for an admin role though. So it's only 5% part of my work. And I'll explain you those work, but you don't have to be into an admin profile. The reason is there are less jobs for admin and it's not as interesting as the developer. So here also I am
okay,
doing 95% of the work as development work.
okay, got it.
But you should know certain things, right? You will be an experienced professional after this training. So you should know certain things. If someone asks you, what is this? Then usually what happens is company also pose a requirement as Alteryx server. But actually they need something else. They need Alteryx gallery. Alteryx gallery is also sometimes uh, used or said as Alteryx server. The words are used interchangeably. What they mean to say is Alteryx gallery knowledge, but they mention Alteryx server in the JD.
Okay,
Had this been an admin profile, admin role, then Alteryx server comes into picture.
okay, okay, got it.
So these are the kind of projects that you would be working on so that you get an idea about how the real-time data gets processed. We'll also be working with some of the reporting projects. For example, these are the ones. So reporting tools, so you can generate some of the reports using these graphs and charts. You can also format Excel files. So Alteryx helps you in getting the work done in an easy way. There's no code written over here. So let me go through this file. This is the input data. This is not a code. Okay. So let me show you one of the file. Let me open the folder for you. Okay. So I have these many files over here. Can you see these files?
Yes,
Okay. So it's as easy as bringing and dragging and dropping over here. Drag it from here. Now this is an Excel file. That is why it is asking which sheet should I process. I want sales data to be processed. Click on OK and data is here. When you run it, you will be able to see the results. Now, can you see department column over here, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say you want some results based on departments. Okay. So there has to be some logic on departments. So let's say you want to pull only groceries data. Or let's say assume this is an Excel file, right? How would you only keep groceries data into Excel? How would you do it?
filter the data.
Filter the data. So you will go to data tab, apply the filter, then select filter on the department, right? Then you will select groceries over there and then you will be able to see only groceries data. This is how you also do it in Alteryx in a very similar way. So I will be trying to link everything from Excel because most of you have worked in Excel. and you will be able to understand how we do it in Alteryx also. So I'll be bringing in, so as Tarun mentioned, filter tool, right? We'll apply filter. So here also it is filter. I'll be simply bringing in it over here and then select the department equals to groceries. Now, whichever records have groceries in them will go to true. Without groceries, will go in false. One more scenario, let me give you. So let's say I have some data set which is name and I have Tarun Tiwari. Fine. Or let's me call it full name. I'll run it and see in the results window. I can see Tarun Tiwari, right? Now my requirement is to separate this full name into first name and last name. How would you do it? Forget all tricks. Just tell me the basic way or the general way of identifying a first name and last name. Anyone? So what is the first name from here? Which is the which part is the first name?
Tarun
Tarun. What is the last name?
Tiwari.
How did you identify it?
From the first word is the like from the first word its name and the last is the surname. Like
So there is a space,
okay,
right? That is separating first name from last name, right? Ratna, sorry, Shrigiri and Shri
Yes,
Harsha.
yes, it
There
was
is
the
a space,
space.
right?
Yeah, based on the space, we can divide those.
You can divide those. So there is a tool over here. You just need to know what we have. We have space, right? So
Yes,
I'll bring it this tool. We'll select the column. Delimiter is space.
space.
I need output of two columns, right? First
Yeah,
name and last name.
first name and last name. Yes.
When I will run it, can you see they are splitted now?
Yes.
Do I have to write any code over there?
No.
No code. But there could be a scenario. So what happened is, let's say Tarun implemented this logic, and after some time, the data started coming in other format. For example, let's say Shri Harsha name came in this way. So Shri and then hyphen Harsha. When I run it, am I getting the correct result?
No.
Shri, Shri Harsha, is it correct
No,
or not?
no.
No. So what has changed? Now space is not coming in Shri Harsha. What is coming in instead?
It's
Hyphen.
uh
Hyphen.
yeah,
But
iPhone.
I
Yes.
need space also. Otherwise, Tarun Tiwari name would not come for process. So I will keep space and include hyphen also. And let's see what happens this time. Is it working fine?
Yes.
Yes.
Now next day, let's say something else came up. Shri, this is a pipe sign, okay? This is not,
Okay.
or let me include some other symbol. Let's say ampersand. Okay,
Okay.
Giri. That's your name, right?
Yes.
Now, what would happen? Is it coming correctly?
No.
No.
But now you are smart enough. What should I do?
We just add the ampersand there in
There.
delimiter.
Now you have the knowledge and you will be able to. Now, would it matter whatever special character is coming? You will be able to process all of them, right?
Yes.
So, this is how Alteryx works. By the time other people will think or create some expression in Python or in some other tool, you will be able to implement the solution.
Yes.
Was it challenging? Anyone?
No, it's not that
No.
much challenging. It's now whatever.
So, so what you are going to learn in this is you are going to learn about data integration. This is just one file. Workflow automation. Okay, reporting. How to use this as a BI tool and an ETL tool. How to design workflows, develop them, test. You will be creating analytical applications. We will be extracting the data, transforming the data, and ETL is loading it from the multiple sources. There are various activities that we are going to perform. For example, bringing in the data that is called data ingestion, data preparation, which includes data cleansing, data organization, data validation, doing some quality checks, that is the QA testing, and then we will be also generating some reports. This could be summary reports or PDFs. Now there could be a possibility that you are using Power BI or Tableau. That team might ask you to create a develop or to create or develop an Alteryx workflow, which might become data source for them. So you will have to create an ETL process for that team. You should know how to understand the failures of workflow. How should you handle the various data types? How should you document this workflow? How to schedule it? And some part of Alteryx server and Gel. Any questions, anyone? So let's take up your questions now. I'm done
So
at
like
my end.
are we also going to train on like a validation part, like a reconciliation and a data remediation things?
So reconciliation and data remediation is a term which business use. For
Okay.
example, let's say this is one of the file, right? So
Okay.
this is the full name, right?
Okay.
And here what we have done is we have split it into first name and last name.
Yes.
Now reconciliation is you will finally, let's say you generated a file, you will have to
Mhm.
reconcile or check the data or do the validation, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's working fine or not. So you will be
We
doing
need to
some
compare the
sampling.
source system with the output.
Yes, with
Yeah.
the
Okay.
output. So this is your, maybe
Process.
you will not get, let me bring some tool from here. And if you are splitting it into first name and last name, then you don't need full name, right?
Yes.
Now it will become this. I will not, of course, output it as one. I will give it a name, first name,
Okay.
last name.
Yeah.
Now guys tell me, this is my output, which let's say Shri Harsha has generated. And this is my input. Are they same? Tarun, Shri Giri, Shri Harsha, are they
No.
same?
No.
No.
No, right? But Shri Harsha asked me a question. How would you reconcile it? How would you validate it? Whether it's right or wrong? The very first step that you are going to take is first you will check the count.
Okay.
Is count of data same? Three records.
Yes.
Three records. Fine. Then I will
Yes.
create some checks. I will replace some values with some other values, other nulls or blanks, and then I will compare the source and the final data. That's how we will do the validation also. For
Okay.
example, over here, how many records are here?
350,
Says here. And how
Yeah.
many records are
350.
here?
124.
124.
124. Is record count same
No,
in output and input?
no.
No.
So my data is not matching. That means I am not processing all the records.
Okay.
But Here you cannot compare, right? But in that case, you will have to go to false. You have to check whether groceries is not going here. Anything wrong is not happening over here. You might have applied some logic where there could be multiple filters and maybe one of the filter is not working. So you have
Yeah.
to see what's gone wrong with the workflow. You have to reconcile the data or validate the data. So you will have to apply validation rules
Yes.
and you will have to speak to business in that way. Yes, we are applying validation rules. How that's how we are doing validation. So for that you need to first learn all tricks.
Yeah.
Any other question, anyone?
Uh, but sir, nowadays the expectation is for there are expectation of a dual expertise. I mean, with Alteryx, you should also know Tableau or Power BI, and you should be able to do both the things simultaneously.
See, simultaneously, I would say, but it could be yes, there could be a possibility that you might have to process the data through Alteryx and then generate reports in Tableau, right?
Right, right,
So if you try to learn both the tools at the same time, you might become master of none. Your focus would be when you are learning Alteryx, your focus might be on Tableau, and when you're learning Tableau, your mind might be wondering about Alteryx. It would take at least a month for you to get good in Alteryx. Then for 10-15 days you will practice, right?
right.
You will become good in all tricks. Then at later stage you can start learning or mastering or Tableau or let's say Power BI. Another one
Okay,
and a half month in Power BI. In 3 months you will be good in at least two tools. Now you can integrate them. You can tell, okay, yes, I was using Alteryx for this purpose and then Power BI for this purpose. And then let's say you know Power BI, now Tableau would be easy to learn as well. You can learn Tableau at that stage also, another 1.5 month. But when I say 1.5 month, that means at least 1 to 2 hours of learning and practicing daily. So there are various people who have joined bigger banks who were trained by me, and they are working both in India and outside India. So they have really, and they were like not even technical people. I'll show you one of the candidate from my last batch. He's not from last to last batch, in fact. So you can read this. And the hike he got from 13 LPA to 19 LPA. And just few months before, he was very tensed. I'm not getting calls. I'm not getting enough calls, or my resume is not getting selected. So I mentioned, see, from 15th December till let's say 15th February, or let's say 10th February, there will be very less calls. Why? It's a Christmas time in US, lean period, holiday period. Then the projects are in pipeline which get materialized during or starts from February. You'll start getting calls post mid-February, but you should be prepared by then. He prepared his resume during Jan and Feb, and then March itself he cleared the interview. He had couple of offers, but he joined one of the company called Capco. So there are a number of students who are placed, and they keep posting in the groups that yes, this is the offer which I have received. Another guys, again there is another guy. So these both Pawans were in the same batch. Pawan, and there's another Pawan. He was also in the same batch as this Pawan. So he got a job in April. So this is what I asked him to prepare. These all test interview questions He, I didn't share it with him. I gave him some questions. I keep on interviewing him, and I also asked him to collect those questions, whichever questions were asked with him. Now I also share these questions with the other candidates so that they can also use this and utilize the uh, hard work of other people, and then they can excel themselves. Yep, Tarun, go ahead.
So, sir, what are the chances? I mean, for Alteryx developer, like, definitely it's a technical role. So, what are the chances that will the company ask uh, verbal questions, or will they ask us to prepare workflow or create any automation, something like that?
See, if they ask you to prepare a workflow, then it's going to be easy for you.
Okay,
Frankly, I'm telling you, I know it is looking scary to you, but it is easy. They'll say, bring in this tool, you will bring in this tool, then apply this filter logic, then apply the join. So after this training, you will be very comfortable doing it. And I would suggest if they ask you to share your screen and do it, you better do it. That will be easier than they are asking questions. You might not get answers of couple of questions, but here in sharing the screen, you will not fail.
okay,
And that you will realize after 5 or 7 days of training.
right, got it.
Because all that fear will go away during my training because I'll be asking you to share the screen and do this. When you are implementing it here itself, then there's no fear appearing in the front of interviewer.
Right, right. So that is the main fear.
That is the main purpose, right?
Right,
You
correct.
should be good in all tricks. You don't have to learn 100 tools in all tricks. No. If you learn, I used to teach 100 tools in all tricks when I started my training in all tricks. But the problem that came up was people were trying to focus on those tools which are not even asked in interview. They were difficult. They were little. They require some more understanding. They were focusing only on those tools as if the questions will be asked only from those tools. And they forgot the very basics tools. In every interview, they were asking filter, select, formula, some of these tools or some other tools which we'll be discussing during the training. So, and they were not practicing those tools. Then I removed those 25, 30 tools or 50 tools and started focusing on these tools. Then they started clearing the interviews very nicely because now the focus was on less area, right? Lesser area, which is implemented in real time. Now, if I teach you special tool, you will learn about it. But how will you tell where have you utilized it? Your company, are you working with Zomato or Swiggy? No. These companies, they utilize these tools. They should have spatial maps data. This is space maps data they should have. Yeah, Tarun.
Sir, I will have to drop. I need to go leave for office right now.
Okay, so anyways, we are going to end. Do you have any other question, Tarun?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for connecting. Bye.
Yeah.
Shri Harsha and Shri Giri, any other question?
No, sir, I am good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But so far, what you are explained, it's good.
I hope you get an idea about what is it about and what we are going to learn.
Yeah.
So my focus would be to get the Alteryx installed in your machine first, and then we'll proceed with the development part.
Yes, that's great.
After 1 month, you can start appearing for the interview.
Yeah. Yes. And I got one question for you. Like it's if we got an interview and we are facing an interviewer, like if we ask about any particular tool, how would I answer it? Like I just simply give the definition of the particular tool, or I can simply explain them what I understand about that tool and how I use it in a particular scenario. In
Yes,
which way it will
they
be great.
may. Yes, they may ask you in which scenario have you used it. So the scenario should look a bit practical.
Yeah.
And during the training, we will be covering those scenarios so that you can directly tell that scenario also. The project we are implementing, you can tell that project also that I have implemented it here.
Okay.
Then he will say, okay, yes. This guy has worked in Alteryx and he's giving a very correct scenario. Even he might not have done that scenario. He will also ask you, okay, tell me how you have you done it. This is looking very uh, complex, but you have done it in one tool. That's really nice.
Yes. Yeah. And one more thing, like I'm just checking those openings, like whatever the openings day to day was uh, we are having on this Alteryx. So mostly they were asking for the server as well for the designer. They're
Mhm.
also asking for the server.
That is actually gallery, which I mentioned. So without Alteryx gallery or this part, your automation will not be there.
Okay, gallery. Yeah, gallery. A part of gallery, they were asking for the server admin.
So server admin, then it is a different profile. See, server admin is like admin person in your. So you might also have admin in your admin department in your company, right?
Yes.
Admin, IT admin, but they are not developers. So the role will get completely different. But yes, you should have some knowledge about admin part. For example, upgrading the workflow, where are you placing the files, where to look for logs. So I can show you that server part over there. But this is not an admin training because
Okay.
there is only one job for the entire organization in admin. So you will have to apply 100 jobs, then you will get 2, 3 calls, right? For
Yeah.
developer, if you'll apply for 100 jobs, at least you will get 50, 60 calls.
Yes.
Out of that, you will be able to clear a lot of interviews, right? So
Yes.
why focus on that area where only less people are there? In one company, in one project, you will find 10 Alteryx developer, but one admin.
Yes. Most of the companies are looking like if they got hire some particular developer, right? They the developer will need to handle all the end-to-end all tricks. So they
Yes.
might be thinking like that. So that's why they are
Yes.
asking for the admin plus
Yes. So
developer.
if they will hire a person who is developer and admin, will they hire 10 people who are admin also and developer also? They will make only one admin.
Yes.
Everyone will become admin, then everyone will delete the workflows, everyone will schedule the workflows, everyone will start doing the things which are not good for governance.
Yes. Yes.
Even in my team, I am the only admin. I hire people, but I don't ask them any admin question because that's a responsibility that I handle. I sometimes have to train them also because some people know all tricks, but they don't know the advanced part.
Okay. On the server gallery level, like how to scheduling it.
Yes, everything I have to tell them.
Yeah.
Any other questions, anyone?
No, sir, I am good.
Okay, then let's disconnect the call. Chaitanya, do you want to continue or shall we drop?
Yes. Yes, sir. We can drop, sir.
Okay, thanks
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you so much, sir.